What's up, friends? In this video, I'm going to show you how to create engaging screen recordings like this using Screen Studio for Mac. So perhaps you're like me and you're looking for a quick way to create engaging screen recordings. And in the past, I would typically use the built-in Mac integrated screen recorder, it works, but it's not anything special. I would have to spend extra time manually editing the screen recording in my video editor. So I was in search for a tool that would allow me to easily edit high quality videos for YouTube, social media. Maybe you're looking to create a course, or maybe you're just simply looking for a way of sending your mom a tutorial on how to use her Gmail account. Speaking of my mom, if you want to join her as one of my subscribers, please smash that subscribe button down below. Would love to have you in the fam. Okay, now back to screen recording. So in my search for the perfect screen recorder for Mac, I came across a bunch of different things, but honestly, I really care what other people think. So I went to, where else would you go? Twitter. And so I came across Screen Studio thanks to a recommendation from a really cool Webflow developer friend, Hen3. Yes, that's cubed. So this is the tweet that he sent me, and he basically said, Screen Studio by Pi6K cannot vouch for this tool hard enough, Paul. And I mean, what more are you looking for a raging review? And so I was like, thanks, Hen, I'll definitely check it out. Appreciate the recommendation. And so that led me to Screen.studio. And basically this tool is amazing. I mean, basically it says beautiful screen recordings in minutes, promo videos of your digital product as easy as taking a screenshot. And I'm telling you, it's super easy. And did I mention that this entire video that you're watching currently and the captions right here are generated using Screen Studio? This whole, besides my intro, this part that you're seeing now is all done using Screen Studio. So if at any point in this video you want to check out Screen Studio, please check the links in the description. I've got an affiliate link, which helps the channel out. No additional cost to you for getting Screen Studio. So it's a great tool, highly recommend. And I also want to say, full disclosure, I was given Screen Studio for free, but I told Screen Studio that the thoughts I would share in this video would have to be completely my own. So I'm going to give you my full honest review, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and everywhere in between. So to start your journey off with Screen Studio, if you're ready to dive in, I'm going to give you a full tutorial from beginning to end on how to use this tool and make amazing videos just like this. Let's dive right in and open the app. Okay, friends, so here we go. So when you first install this app, you're just going to drag it into your applications. But since I already did that, we're not going to have to do that. In fact, you'll notice on the bottom of my screen here, I have two Screen Studios. I had to contact Screen Studio and ask them, how do I record Screen Studio using Screen Studio? This is a very meta video. Before we dive into the app itself, I wanted to really quickly just go over the settings that you have both in the application and then also before starting a recording. So here we go. As you'll see in the settings for the application, it's super minimalistic. I mean, there are basically three options that you can pick. Number one, you can choose your shortcut for starting and stopping recordings. You can edit that, or you can keep it the default. You can also toggle on and off usage data. So if you want to share information with Screen Studio, you can. Otherwise, you can just toggle that off. And then the last thing is you can reset the settings. Super simple, straightforward. And then when you're starting a new recording, all you need to do is look at this window at the bottom here, and you'll have the option to basically select a single window. So right now, you'll see that it's selecting the new recording window, this one right up here. So basically you just click on the application if you have this single window selected. Otherwise, if you want to record the entire screen, all you have to do is select entire display. And if you want to record a different display than the one that you're currently on, then you just simply move your mouse to the new display and start recording on that. One of the neat features about Screen Studio is that they allow you to record your camera at the same time, which is awesome. So all you need to do is select the camera that you want. And if you're, obviously you'll be using a Mac. So if you have an iPhone, you can also use the continuity feature to select your camera from that. Otherwise you can also hide the camera preview if you don't want to see yourself while recording. I think it's helpful. That way you can make weird faces at yourself at the same time. You can select don't record camera, but it's a nice option. The other thing that you have the option to select is your microphone. Which microphone do you want to record from? Do you want to record from an audio interface that you might have attached to your computer to get the most pristine audio quality? Or maybe you just need your Mac's internal microphone, which I'm currently using. And to be honest, they say it's supposed to have studio quality microphone. It's pretty good. Otherwise, you can also use the continuity feature to select, your phone, and you can just hold it and record it that way. Or you could select not record microphone if you just need the visuals. So that's that. And then you just hit start recording. And then it comes up with this thing, and it's got like this countdown. To finish recording, click stop icon in the tray or press the shortcut. And then it just starts. And that's it. Now that you've finished your awesome screen recording, we're ready to edit. So here we have your timeline. You can trim the ends of the video. So maybe you messed up in the beginning and you just need to cut that beginning part out. You can just dial into that point and you're ready to go. So I wanted to share with you some exciting features coming in the new version of the app. I just checked out the beta version recently, and they have some pretty awesome features coming. So for example, you can now split the clip. So they have a keyboard shortcut here, S. So if I hit S, wherever the playhead is, I can create these splits. And the other cool thing is you can now adjust the speed. So if there's a certain section that you want to speed up, you can easily do that right inside the app. And it creates these, adjustments, like almost like a magnetic timeline. You can also adjust the trims on these splits. So it makes it really easy for you to dial in exactly what you want. Some other exciting keyboard features coming is command. So if you press command 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you'll notice that it goes through these different features. So you can just go through your settings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Done. I just wanted to share with you these exciting features so that you can get an idea of what's to come. They actually have the public beta easily available. I think it's screen.studio/beta. So if you want to check it out for yourself, you can do that. But yeah, that's what's coming, friends. Next up, I would recommend looking at your aspect ratio that you're using. So they have an auto setting, which is what it will default to typically. And then wide is what I'd recommend if you're creating a course, or maybe you want to make it for YouTube or a platform that just needs that regular video dimension. So you can select that and look at that. It automatically creates this beautiful 16:9, which would probably take you a while to do in a regular video editor. You can also do 9:16 if you're planning to share it to, let's say, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. It's very practical. You can also create a square for other social media platforms. They also have 4:3 and 3:4. Great options, but we're going to stick with a 16:9 for this video. You can also crop in. So let's say you recorded the entire screen and you just need a particular part of the screen. You can do that as well, which is super handy, but we're fine the way it is. Next up, you have go to first frame, go to last frame, and your play. And you can also zoom into the timeline and zoom out. The other features that are super helpful is adding zooms. This actually took me a second to realize, because all you need to do is click and you just added a zoom. So here's our zoom that we just added. We can extend it to however long we want. And let's just play. It's amazing. I mean, basically it says beautiful screen recordings in minutes, promo videos of your digital product as easy as taking a screen. And just like that, you've got a very engaging, quick zoom in to highlight a certain aspect of the screen. You can also edit that zoom in. So here on this side, you have the different modes. You can do auto, which is what it's set at currently, and then you have manual. by default, they'll actually add in zooms that they think are practical based on your mouse movement. And you can edit those and make them the way that you need it. You can change the zoom level. So if you want to get really nice and close and personal, you can do that. Otherwise, you can zoom out and zoom it to just the right spot. And then there you go. You've got your zoom all set. You can also snap to edges. So perhaps it's not quite exactly where you want it to be. So we can adjust that slightly until it just seems like it's in the spot where you're looking for. And there we go. They also have glide, enables slow camera movement while zoomed in. And so you can change the glide speed. So we can change it to 100%. And there we have it.
It says beautiful screen recordings in minutes.
Then we can turn it to 0 just so you can see what that looks like.
It says beautiful screen recordings in minutes.
So yeah, it just slows it down. The movement, you'll notice as it moves around. Let's do it again.
It says beautiful screen recordings in minutes.
Yeah, it's a little bit smoother. But we'll leave that at 50%. That's pretty good. And then you can also just remove it and then zoom. That zoom's gone. So next up is getting your settings dialed in for the look and the way that you want it for your video. So the first thing we have is the background settings. And so you can create padding. So you can make it really far away, or you can make it so that it fills up the entire screen. But usually by default, it's somewhere around here, which is pretty good. You can change the wallpaper, which is really helpful. You can blur the background so you can, make sure that your attention's more focused on the screen than on the background. They have some awesome wallpapers available right off the bat to make your screen recording look amazing. And you can also select a gradient if you desire. So you can choose like your brand colors or a particular color to feature the video. You can choose a background color, or you can even select an image and you can blur that as well. I'm going to leave it on wallpaper and we'll just go with the default kind of Mac look here. And so next we're ready for body. So as you'll notice, you have these corners. This is what you call the border radius, and you can adjust that. So you can make it where it's really rounded. I think that's way too much. Or you can select somewhere in the middle, maybe about that. That seems good to me. So you can select that. And then you also have the ability to change the shadow. So this is what it looks like without any shadows. It's all right, but I think a little bit of shadows goes a long way. Too much shadow, it's a little bit much, but somewhere in the middle, I think is decent. You can also have advanced shadow options, so you can change the distance. This is pretty amazing that you can change like the shadow angle. To do this in like a video editor, like it would take you multiple clicks to bring up the effect, and this is just gives you all the controls that you need to create an awesome screen recording really quick, and then you can quickly reset it if you mess something up. And then next we're going to go to the cursor. So you can make your cursor look mega size, or you can make it kind of normal. They default by 1.5, which is pretty good. And then you have the option to do touch. So you notice it's like kind of like a white circle with a low opacity, so you can see through it. It's like kind of gives like an iPad kind of vibe or a iPhone, so it's more like a touch kind of feature. I'm going to leave it on Mac OS for now. You can stop the cursor movement at the end. So typically, like if you're moving your mouse to the top to turn off the screen recording, you can kind of remove that at the very end so you don't see that. Next up is the camera. So this is the amazing thing about this platform. I love that you can change where the camera's located in the video, and you can even turn it off if you messed up and you just need the screen recording done. So I think this is a very, very useful feature to have. You can change the mirroring of the camera. So this is what it looks like mirrored. So if it looks better one way or the other, you can change it up. You can change the roundness. So if you want it to be a circle, Or if you want it to be almost a square, you can do that, where you get their kind of mid square, mid round option, which is pretty cool. You can change the size, so you can have it a mega U, or you can make it teeny tiny. I think somewhere in the middle is great. 35% is what they default at. So this is really cool. By default, it changes the size of your video when you zoom in. So see there, all of a sudden it's tiny, big, tiny, and it just does that automatically. You can turn that off, so it's just the same size. I kind of think it's really helpful to have that. And then the other thing that you can change is the size during the zoom. So if you want to make it really tiny, I don't know why you'd want to make it that tiny, and you can keep it decently large. I think where they have it is pretty good. Okay, so that's camera. Next up, we have one of my favorite features of all times is the captions. So this allows you to create captions really quickly and fast. As you'll see here, it just looks really slick, and you can change the transcript size to really teeny tiny to mega size.
Studio, thanks to a recommendation from a...
And so one of the things that is really neat about this is that they have AI to help generate the transcript. So let's say you're talking about a particular brand or a product. It just makes it a little bit more informed. So instead of making Screen Studio lowercase, it capitalizes it, as you'll notice. Yep, right here.
Screen Studio.
So it capitalizes that. I think it worked one of the first times I tried it, but because I think originally I didn't have End Webflow, and it made it like web flow, like 2 words. But I believe one of the times I added End Webflow, it worked. However, in the most recent test, it didn't. I'm not sure why. So again, it's an experimental feature. It's amazing that they even have it. I'm just super excited to be able to like create really good captions super fast. It's very engaging, and it's even like kind of a little bit animated, and like it's like follow the bouncing ball. And you can make like little changes to the text. So let's say they had the wrong right. They were actually wrong. You can just change it like that. And so at 59 seconds in, that should make that change. Let's see.
Right in.
Let's dive right in. There we go. So that's just a good example of that feature. You can hide it or add it. And then next up, we have motion. So here you can select the motion blur. So while mouse cursor or screen is moving, cinematic motion blur effect will be applied. So you can turn that down. Let's see what that looks like. So yeah, it's just like super fast into it.
Search for the...
Whereas like if you add the motion blur, it's nice.
So in my search for the
buttery smooth, you can change it. Like you can change the cursor movement, blur, screen zooming in, screen moving. And then they also give you parameters for smooth cursor movement. You can turn that on and off. They have different options for the animation style. So this is mellow. This is slow.
Like this.
Quick. And
like
rapid.
Like.
I think their setting by default is pretty decent, so I'm going to keep it. They also give you parameters for even that. So you can change the tension. How much do I want to quickly get to a new position? And then friction and mass. So it says Screen Studio uses Newtonian laws of motion to calculate animations. I love it. I love it. And then they have the same thing for the zoom movement animation style and the same customizations for that as well. So great options right there. And then once you have all these settings dialed in just right for your particular use case, you can go over here and save a new preset so that you can have a particular look or style every time you make these videos, and you can save yourself some time in the long run. And then once you're happy with what you've got, you're ready to export. So they give you very practical options here. So you can either export as an MP4, that's like a video file, so highly recommend that. Or you have your GIF or GIF. So if you're looking to share something, maybe on social media, just a fun little thing, you can do that. They allow you to change the frame rates here. For MP4, what I'd recommend is selecting maybe 30 frames, 25 frames, or 24 frames, unless you want the very realistic 60 frames per second, which is fine. Maybe it's like a video game screen recording, then I would say the 60 frames per second makes sense. However, keep in mind that your estimated output size will change as a result. So for example, this is what it looks like for 60 frames. Now let's cut it in half. And you'll see that that number also basically cuts in half. I will say that I don't think the numbers here are exactly right, unless maybe there's supposed to be like a decimal here, like maybe it's 0.0, because the size of the file that I exported typically is not as large as what it says, the estimated file size. So that was a nice thing to find. So then you can select your output size. So if you want it to be a 720p, I don't know why you would. I would recommend sticking with 1080. I mean, maybe if you're making something for the web and you need it very small, that's one use case. But I'd recommend either sticking with 1080p or 4K, get all those pixels that you can. This is great. This makes it super simple and easy. Most video editors, you actually have to enter in the individual pixels occasionally. So it just makes it very practical for you to select your quality. And then for the compression level, again, this is something that you'd have to like select your constant bit rate, your variable bit rate. Like there's so many different settings when you're in a video editor. This just makes it super simple and easy to understand in layman's terms. So you have your studio quality, which is the highest quality, best for further editing. Maybe you're making a YouTube video and this is like one element of it. So for my videos, that's what I'm using, is this studio quality. And it says quality setting does not impact export speed. You have social media. So that's great for sharing on social media. Compression is noticeable when taking a good look, but keep in mind also that as most social media, YouTube platforms do, they crunch things up, compress the videos to save space. But then you also have web and web low. So that's where your compression is probably going to become a little bit more visible. And then with web low, that's where quality, if you're using web low, you're probably not concerned too much with the quality, but you're more concerned about the increased load time speed, because with this level, they say the compressions are clearly visible. So something to keep in mind. But personally, I would do studio. And then once you hit export to file, you'll just select where you want to save it and save it. And you're done. Congratulations, you finished your screen recording. So you're probably thinking, Paul, this software is amazing. How much does it cost? So let's dive into that next. So we're going to go to Screen Studio's pricing section. And you'll notice that currently it's pay once, use forever. So Screen Studio is a one-time purchase. You get all the features in every plan. So at $89 for the pay once license for you, you get one Mac OS device. So if you just need it on one computer, $89, you're done. That gives you all the Screen Studio features and 1 year of updates. So something to keep in mind, if they continue to update it, you might need to pay more to update your app, but otherwise you get that great price of $89. That is not bad at all. If you need 3 Mac OS devices, then you might consider their extended plan for $189. And if you're on a team and you want to use this awesome screen recording app for your entire team, then you want to get in touch with the team itself. And let me tell you, the team is fantastic to talk to. I've had a great experience so far in communicating with the Screen Studio team. So highly recommend, if you have any questions about this product, get in touch with them because they are phenomenal. And so that's basically an overview of the pricing. So far it's been a great experience using the app. The only things that I would say just to keep in mind is that if you move your window, I actually had to re-record this section because I moved the window and then it wasn't framed properly. So if you're using single window for recording, be careful about dragging your window around because otherwise it's not going to be really centered in the camera view anymore. Same thing for dragging windows into that same display area. It will then record that area. So that's something to keep in mind that I noticed. Not necessarily a problem, just something to note. If you plan to move your window during the recording, maybe select the entire display, not the single window. Okay, Paul from the future jumping in here to note some things that I experienced, some issues, but then also some good things as a result of those issues. So here we go. So the first thing that I noticed was sometimes when I trimmed the clips in the current version, that when I exported it, the audio would be out of sync. However, when I put those trims, I took those trims away in that version, it worked just fine, typically speaking. Sometimes the export would reach like 100% and it just never seemed to stop. That was another thing I experienced. And then I had one weird experience where I exported a clip and it was just one of them when it looked fine in Finder, like when I brought it up probably in QuickTime or whatever. But then when I brought it into Premiere Pro, it was like yellow and purple, which was super weird. And let me tell you, those issues that I experienced when I opened those same projects inside of the beta version and tried exporting them, I didn't experience those issues anymore. So again, it just goes to show you that things that are might be drawbacks right now, I think will be answered in the beta release. And again, not really big issues, but I just wanted to share everything with you so you can make an informed decision. That said, the Screen Studio team has been very helpful and supportive through the process. So I'm excited to see the future of Screen Studio grow. And I'm sure these are just minor bumps in the road. Other than that, I mean, it's been a great use so far. The one thing that I've encountered was one application that didn't let me record it using the single window, but they're looking into that. So I'm hopeful that the team will give me a response regarding that. But other than that, I mean, it's been phenomenal using this application. And for $89, if it saves you hours of editing and improves your production value, I mean, I think that's definitely could be worth it for those that do videos like this. If you're a course creator or create videos for applications, demonstrating the application or review videos, YouTube videos, I mean, this could be a game changer and a no-brainer for $89. I'm just thinking back to when I made my Sun Sama review, and I had to use my built-in screen recorder for Mac, and it worked. And I brought that recording into my video editor, which I was using Premiere Pro for, which it worked great, but it's just like, it's a lot more manual work and a lot more time and frustration. And in the end, I don't think I got as good of a recording as I would have if I used Screen Studio to do it. So just something to keep in mind is that you could be saving lots of time and energy and frustration using an app like this if it fits your needs. So if you're ready to test it out, you can use the link in my description to download Screen Studio. And once you go to the download section, you'll actually see that if you don't have a license key, you can still use all the features except exporting video files. Feel free to play with it before you decide. So they give you the flexibility to just try it out and see if it works with your workflow. So my recommendation to you is just click the link in the description, check it out. It is an affiliate link, so I do get a little bit of a kickback if you decide to purchase it. However, it's no extra cost to you, so keep that in mind. And I greatly appreciate it if you do use the link. And so that's so far my experience with the app and how to use it. It's been great so far. So what about you? Do you currently use a screen recording app? If so, do you love it? Or are you looking to make the switch to an app like Screen Studio? If you're considering that, I recommend hitting the subscribe button down below just in case I make more videos like this so you don't miss it. And until next time, my friends, stay techy.
I think that's it. We're just gonna call. What about you? What do you currently use for screen recordings? Do you love it? Or are you looking to make a switch to a tool like Screen Studio? If so, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button and the like button if you like this video so you don't miss another video like this. That's a lot of liking.